and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 and this Bavarian campaign. Last time around, we defeated an enemy army at the gates of my capital. Hopefully, the last time that I will show that, and hopefully also the last time I will defend my hometown. So, as I said last time around, what did I say last time around? I probably mentioned the Russians. Anyways, it's kind of funny because I think I released video 6 when I recorded this, and someone actually said, well, at least something along the lines of, at least the Russians haven't turned up. Oh boy, if he knew. Right, well, the Russian army is not that bad, and you might think that we would hunker up in the city and wait for the Russians to come to us, but no! I will go out and defeat them. I don't want to go ahead and have them ravage through the countryside yet again. So one of the worst things you can do is let the enemy come to you and, you know, destroy your countryside. Probably why Bavaria never rose to prominence like Prussia did, because, well, all conflicts in between France and the Austro-Hungarians, or Austria, ends up kind of here. And as we've seen, how many times have Munich been besieged during the last 2 years? Like 4 that I've shown you, and then in total maybe 5. How many times have my towns been burned? All of them, which are within this region. How many times would the armies have marched through here and blocked trade roads and whatnot? There wouldn't be a lot of people living here. Like right now there lives 1.1 million, but you can imagine that there wouldn't the people would die and people would move away. There would be no food, there would be no money and wealth, as everything keeps getting set on fire. So you need to keep the enemy out of your own land. Anyways, let's go ahead and strike the Russians. I don't know if they're gonna intercept me halfway, but we're gonna bring our army forwards. And we're gonna bring the fight to the Russians in wintertime. I know, it's a crazy idea. However, we're playing on home turf, so that hopefully helps me a little bit. Luckily enough for me, I've tore those 2 Prussian armies to absolute shreds, leaving that their army of about 5,000 men is reduced to 1,000. And then the Russians, I imagine, fought the French to get here, so they have lost quite a few men as well of their original force. I imagine Kutuzov sets out with a lot more men than 1,700. However, let's go ahead and defeat one of the most famous generals of the Napoleonic Wars with someone that probably is not more than a footnote. I haven't actually taken a look at this guy's Wikipedia page yet, but I imagine just because it's got specific picture and stuff that this is actually like a proper general. And given that I have done so great with him, I sure need to check out who he actually was. With that said, let's go ahead and defeat the Prussians and the Russians at this winter battle. And also look at where we're standing for this battle, where we were humiliated by the Austrians' first battle in this campaign. And now look at us, 4,000 men strong. I've got 3 additional territories, one of which being the great city of Venice, under my control. And here we have the mighty forces. Well, you know what? I can go on. Let's go into the battle. I sort of sense that, yeah, let's go right ahead and fight the bastards. Right, we have our winter landscape ahead of us. We can see the Russian general up here. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna move this cannon up and place it in front of the forest over here. This one I want to roll up on the hill here. I'm not entirely sure how well this will do, but I can imagine if we get it in a really good spot here. I mean, look at the view from this. And be able to spray the enemy with canister from above. Probably gets a real good arc, and you get that sort of, instead of having the shotgun shell, as it were, go through a line, it comes from above and it just sort of gapes out a huge hole. My plan is to make most of, well, move forward in the front line and hold that, but to make most of my maneuvers from the left, where I have sort of my elite brigade, which consists of the name unit, the Grenadiers, and one of my best line infantries, followed by the 3 Lightfoot units. So that's the plan, and without further ado, let's go ahead and start fighting. One thing that we have to keep an eye out is, of course, the Prussians. Looking at how the ground is here, I would actually need to have the cannon all the way up here to actually be able to fire canister and cannon shot in a good way, because otherwise there's dead ground on that side. But at the same time, moving the cannon so far out, kind of want it in the forest maybe to shield it, but I think we'll do this for now. I didn't get the 3rd unit there. Let's get this cannon hopefully as close to the edge as possible. And also it's probably a pretty good spot to see or scout out the enemy. These guys go into the forest. I was gonna have these 2 guys in reserve, but it kind of opens up a hole here, so we'll place them there, and then we'll have the general in the kind of depression right there, and let's start marching towards the house, I was about to say, when I realize that the Prussian army is turning up from behind. Luckily, I stationed 2 of my brigades to deal with these guys. So we will march with immediate effect to lock in the Prussians and defeat them before they even reach us. And it looks like a major portion of the Russian force has been sighted over on the right side. Let's see if I can get that cannon up. Since we're moving this brigade away, I think we'll go ahead and move this one a little bit forward. Time to deploy this one. Oh, we're coming right onto the Russian Grenadiers. Oh, I forgot to leave the Discord. Huh. Silly me. Horse guards. Shit. Canister, if you please, and we'll just hope that my men can deal with the frontline attacks of the Russians. Crap. Prussian hussars. Kind of hard to do a 2-front war here. How are we dealing with the Russian Grenadiers in the forest? Not too well at all. I'll move up in their flank and move like that, and this unit will move back. The main line seems to be holding, and I'm pretty sure it will hold. Seeing as though so the problem I figure with the cannons is that they've actually given them a higher area, or they can fire further than they actually can fire, which leads them to when using the canister on target, or they sort of get the okay, I can fire the target up here, but I can't actually fire the target up there, which makes them confused and causes big problems for them. Oh, they have the same Russian Pathfinders unit, or Where are they going? Gonna attack me in the back, are they? The bastards. Okay, the Russian grenadiers in the forest is way too strong to take on, seemingly. And, like, I'm losing tons of men trying to fight there.
Sir, our general is under attack.
I don't like that at all. Where are these guys going? This unit is not actually fighting the enemy, so it will be set up here to go into square. Also, you will drop the square, go into line. Seems like we're defeating these guys. I want you guys just to tilt a little bit. And then you go back into square. Okay, the Russians are doing a mighty attack over on that brigade, and they seemingly are getting aid by the Prussians turning up in our back. At the same time, the Russians are just marching straight at us here. Oh, the Russians, they're charging this unit, so the rest of the brigade needs to come up and aid. This brigade could very well just fall apart unless it's supported by the reserves. It's kind of annoying that the cannons are bugged that way, because that means that I have to manually set them up and hope that I target an area which isn't out of their range, as it were. Desperate fighting right here. If the Russians start the melee attack on this unit, it's gonna falter. But we actually won that somehow. I order you to drop your square. Cannons have been set up. I'm ordering you to drop your square as well. Really small unit of Prussian Fusiliers. Right, the light infantry got quite a bit of enemies up here. But what I want to do is I want them to advance into my fire. So we're gonna redraw the line like so. We're gonna get these guys to come up like so. And then we're gonna sweep those guys away. We're holding here, and you know what? Looks like the Russians are being completely pushed away. Oh crap. There's a Russian Jaeger unit hiding in the forest. I'm gonna send all three to deal with them. The reserves I'm gonna march up. This brigade is going to march up. And looks like we actually dealt with the Russian grenadiers. We want to keep them out of the forest. 2 units to the front, 1 to the side to fire at this one. And let's not fire at our own. Quickly form a square here, as we've got a Guard Hussar unit coming up and some other unit. Same time, the Russian general Kutuzov decides to attack one of my light infantry from the back. I've noticed this as well, like kind of a bug by the general to actually stop their charge just shy of actually. Kutuzov has been wounded. Right, light infantry, move up on the flank there. With Kutuzov gone, you can move into line again. The reserve musketeers and the others should be quite easy targets for us to throw away. Drop the square, move into line. Got cannon shots going in there as well. Oh no! Going back and forth in between the different battle scenes. I missed that my 2 reserve units were caught out in the open in a flank charge by the enemy lifeguard unit, and that kind of broke them, and it possibly is going to break this unit as well, unless the general's there to support and have them go back into... Right. They don't need to be in the square because the enemy was defeated. Okay, rally here. Okay, we pushed those guys out of the forest. Let's advance further. We kind of need aid there. I'm hoping that this side will be done pretty soon. Ah, crap. Bavarian. You know what? Why am I standing fighting with these? Did they tear up the entire flank there of those 3 units and sent them away without me noticing? God damn it. And I don't know how clever it was to order a charge here. If these guys continue to charge, I can have these guys shoot into the veteran musketeers and then charge and get the cannons. Right, I was hoping that those 6 units would be available to join me up here and aid me. At least we are dealing with the Russians, so I'm gonna order you to charge those guys down. It would be nice if I could capture those 12-pounder batteries. Now I can refocus these troops, but we need to retreat here because we're losing. But we got 2 cannons trained on them. And it's the light infantry versus these Prussian musketeers. We have the numbers on them. So I'm gonna just draw a line. Hope we win there. We got another one coming in. Right, let's go back over here. These guys not doing too well. Full retreat. Did I get the cannons? Yes, we got the cannons. Right, the last remnants. We got 1 Prussian unit over here. Unfortunately, I didn't really get any good close-up shots of the battle, but it's kind of hard to get close-up shots of the battle when you're fighting on 2 fronts. Shit. General moves directly into the fire. That will be the line. You will actually go for that cannon up there. And then you will go there. We should be able to break them. And then hopefully my light infantry will deal with these guys. You know what? We have a big portion of this unit not firing. So we have a lot of muskets loaded and ready. And we move quickly into the flank of the enemy. And hopefully release just 1 big old volley. And they're gone. Given that there's only 49 of them left, I don't think we're gonna see them again. So the light infantry can now move over here, but that's not really needed because at this point we have the only Russian unit still standing. 18 Jaegers doing their best work to hold us on. Brave Russians. Cannonballs flying overhead. Musket shots piercing their hearts. Right. Now it's only 1 Russian cannon, which isn't even firing back at us. 1 cannon shot. And the entire unit is gone, and I will be victorious. What actually happened here? I guess we actually repel the Russian grenadier charge, which seems rather odd. We seem to have lost the officer though in the charge. He got stabbed. But not actually that many of our bodies. And also it seems some cavalry rode in there and died as well. Closing in on this guy. It's running pretty fast. Let's go ahead and hold fire. And I have some units charge them down. So pretty bloody battle. A few mistakes. Definitely the one where the reserves were caught out here in the open. Where I lost track of... The good thing is though, I've got a sick amount of replenishment rate in my home region. So... I mean, I will be fully recovered within 1-2 turns. And now those guys were completely gone. And I've won the battle. Let's go on and take a look at the statistics and also go back to the campaign map and hopefully see their 3 armies crumble to nothing. So I don't have to worry about them anymore. And here we have it. We actually outnumbered the enemy by 1,000 men. We lost 1,600, which probably could have been done better. We killed most of their army. Apparently there's still 1,000 men remaining, which I don't really like. Reserves, ones are the one that killed the most, and the 3-pounder that was firing canister got a lot. And yeah. Very nice. And Russians pulled back. I still have enough movement range to continue forwards. I'm not entirely sure if I want to take on these guys. If they were in reach to support the Russians, but I want to kind of kill off the Russians. You know what, given my replenishment rate, and I mean they're only gonna raid some stuff, and given the current situation, I mean the Austrians can't really rely on any support coming their way, since the French have gone in and taken everything. So it's more of us really hurrying to the best of our ability once we dealt with these guys to take Prague, so I actually get some more land before... wait. Oh, yes. For some reason I didn't recognize my color there and I thought I had revolted or something. To take this before the French just steamrolls and takes everything, so I need to grab as much land as possible. And yeah, let's go ahead and then turn and see what we can do. Oh, we have recruited a spy, Saltzman. Very good. Then maybe he can take care of who's ever keep burning this place down. It could be his first task. But no, who cares about the bows and mines? Let's go ahead and scout out Prague. That will be your choice. And then my army will cross the bridge, attack the Russians, force them away. I guess we continue and we annihilate them. And then try to march back. Gonna have to repair this. Enemy raids, ancillary gains, whatever. Troops recruited. Nice, we're gonna get a big load of troops next turn. Could recruit more, but I'm not entirely sure if my treasure will hold up for that. And also noticed how my prosperity has gone to moderate from meager, and my prestige rank is now respected. I don't think we're still on the prestige meter yet, Hopefully we will turn up here at some point. I don't know how much prestige we have. Can't really see that. Right. Is there anything I can build? Got 3,000. I was thinking about building roads somewhere. Have I built 2 turns away here? We could use roads here to get quickly back and forth. Or maybe I'd just save up to build an even bigger trade port. I guess we save up the money. I'll go ahead and end turn once more. And then my spy will see what's actually here. And maybe I can out-resolve and get rid of the Austrians. Right there. And quickly just looking over so that the French... They haven't claimed anything more yet, anyways. They probably will in the future. Right, let's go ahead and turn again. Right! Munich is being besieged yet again by the silly Austrians. This time, however, they've got nothing. I'm pretty sure I can out-resolve this. And not only that, we'll follow the bastards. Right, nice. We are victorious. However, because they lay siege to it, I'm not gonna get my good reinforcements. Oh no! The French took Prague. God damn it, France. My target will then have to be Croatia. Which is, I will get a very strange territory if you look at the map. I will go from here, and then wind its way down, and then down here. Blasted French. We're not in a position to backstab the French yet, though, and take the territories that I need. I guess we'll outline it so that what I will be needing from the French would be Stuttgart, Cleves, Hanover, Oldenburg, Dresden, Prague, Berlin, Mecklenburg, Stettin, Pomerania. I don't know, I guess I'll have to go all the way to East Prussia, Danzig. I guess we'll include Breslau into... Or maybe I should take what is currently like Germany and not extend it. It's gonna be hard enough. I mean, fighting the French is gonna be so much harder than fighting against the Austrians and stuff. And I mean, the only thing kind of saved me from the Austrian was the French. And then doing, you know, switching alliances, which I'll probably not be allowed to. It's not gonna go too well. I'm hoping maybe this can revolt against the French, and I can take it from underneath them. Anyways, with yeah, I've got no. The Prussians here were defeated and sent away. Nice. So I didn't have to do anything to save this province. Right, I think with that, we'll go ahead and end this episode. And hopefully, as I always say, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!